Hello, good people. The last time we spoke, it was about the big time games Starfield and Redfall being pushed back, and these are hardly the first games we've seen pushed back recently. We've basically had a steady flow of game delays since around 2020 or so, and I just mean a steady flow of delays, not like games were never getting delayed before the pandemic or something, just that the delays have definitely gotten more frequent since then. Of course, that's also due to game fans in recent times becoming more understanding and open to delays, as well as the public uproar condemning crunch culture. So, all those are factors that play into it. But whatever the case may be, games are getting pushed back. So I thought I'd just take some time to take a look at what's still scheduled to come down the pipeline for 2022. What the fuck is left, and should we be excited for it? So let's find out. Let's start off with a toss-up right out of the gate. God of War Ragnarok. I'm not gonna explain what this game is because you already know what it is. Now, PlayStation has said that this game is coming out this year. This year? Which year? What year? 2022? Yes, that's what they said. They think we're supposed to believe that. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I obviously have my own doubts that this game's even coming out in 2022, and after Starfield and Redfall were delayed, everyone on Twitter shared that same concern online, but some Sony Santa Monica devs even went so far as to tweet that Ragnarok was in fact coming out this year in an attempt to reassure everyone that this is happening. They're telling you not to lose hope. This is happening. Yeah, listen, I want to believe it. I want this game to come out. I just don't know, though. I just don't know. But for a moment, let's pretend it is definitely 100%, without a doubt, coming out this year. That is a big old boy and a big old game, it will serve this year well in terms of bolstering the roster and not making 2022 look like it blew its load early, so to speak, with everything worthwhile being piled before late February, early March or whatever. So yeah, God of War Ragnarok, a big one if it happens. It's May now. If we don't see some more substantial content, maybe a general overview or something across the summer, then I say no fucking way this thing comes out this year, but we'll see. Next up is a game I spoke about in a recent video, so I'll keep this short. It's Gotham Knights. This is coming out in October, and I do think this one will actually come out. I gave my thoughts on the latest gameplay demo we saw. I was less than blown away, but still, if they can clean this thing up, perhaps it can come together and be a nice jewel in the 2022 crown. If you want to hear my full thoughts on what I think about the game so far, check out my concerns about Gotham Knights video from not too long ago. But moving on, we've got Saints Row. This is coming out in August, and if you don't know, this is a reboot to the Saints Row series. Probably a needed reboot if you ask me, and I would assume that should this game not perform well or be received well, that the Saints Row IP will likely be put on ice. Saints Row basically started off as just another GTA clone, but separated themselves by embracing all the wacky, over-the-top mayhem that GTA itself was starting to steer away from. But Saints Row may have embraced the wackiness and toilet humor a little too much. People were a bit sick of what was going on by the time the fourth installment rolled around, and boom, here we are, Reboot City. And it looks to be trying to walk the line between action-packed realism and over-the-top escapism. Reboots are never an easy thing to do in games unless the thing you're rebooting is so old and dead in the water that it almost doesn't matter what you do. But that isn't the case for Saints Row. It's going to be hard for them to keep this Saints Row, but not so Saints Row that it's exactly what we were already tired of. Honestly, I don't know who the diehard Saints rowers are, right? The people who just can't wait for this. I don't know who they are. I've never met them or heard from them. I think most people are firmly planted in the wait and see, dip a toe column, like see like what people who are playing the game and reviewers have to say, and or if I have money at the time and there's no other games around, then sure, maybe I'll give it a whack. At least that's the temperature I get from the internet, but we'll see. Maybe people are way more hype on it than I'm giving it credit for. Your next game claiming to release in 2022 is Square Enix's Forspoken. This is a brand new IP action adventure game being developed by Luminous Productions, the same folks who developed Final Fantasy 15. And just one look at Forspoken and you can see that that's the truth. And I mean that in a good way. I enjoyed 15. I guess the premise is this random ass girl gets transported from her humdrum janky ass apartment to a wonderful wizarding world of fantasy and shit. And there's a bad guy, she's got some talking bangles on her arm, and is that a fucking dragon? That's from the game. She says that, I think. But despite my tone, I am interested in this game. The traversal and combat look pretty cool. The world seems fairly interesting. The biggest issue is probably that what we've seen of it, which at this point is a few different trailers and teasers, doesn't look super polished, right? Character models, landscape, lip sync, frame rate, none of it really looks ready to go just yet, but I guess that's why it's not coming out now, and it's coming out in October, right? But honestly, with Square Enix's recent failings and whatnot, I can totally see this game getting pushed back into 2023 to be absolutely certain that it's ready to go. I do think it's coming this year, but I wouldn't be surprised if I were wrong and they push it back just to really be sure. We don't want another Avengers on our hands, I bet they're saying up there at Square Enix. So yeah. Anyway, next up, let's just get this one out of the way. It's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 again. That's what they need to do. Just slap an again at the end of this bitch. They do that and I'm all the way in. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 2022. That's 2022 more twos than you're used to. Pre-order now and receive the Glock 2022 ballet shoes and a tutu for all in-game operators. Okay, I'm done. But yeah, this is the sequel to 2019's Modern Warfare reboot. There is not much to say. It is Call of Duty. You know what it is. This one's definitely coming out this year. We don't know when yet, but it's coming. So get ready to modernize that warfare. All right? Okay, that's all. I'm moving on. It's another franchise basically too big to fail. Who's that Pokemon? It's Pokemon. Okay, yeah, that's right. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are also set to release this year. Now, some of you ill-informed folks may be thinking, Pokemon? Why are you including that? Who cares? Well, I hate to break it to you, Pokemon is still massively successful. Yep, believe it or not, 20-something years after Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur, when you stopped paying attention, Pokemon still sells 14 million units of an underwhelming remake of games from 2006. You might also be thinking, didn't we just get a Pokemon game? Yes, the pseudo spin-off Pokemon Legends Arceus released in January of this year, and 2 months before that, in November of 2021, the aforementioned remakes of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl released. So, Pokemon is just churning these motherfuckers out, and it doesn't seem to be hurting their sales at all. Legends Arceus having sold 12.6 million units and Diamond and Pearl remakes having sold 14.6 million units, but the upcoming Scarlet and Violet are not remakes. they are not spin-offs. They are the next mainline Pokemon games, which means a whole different set of mons for you to capture and enter fight clubs with. And because of their mainlineness, Scarlet and Violet have a good amount of hype going for them, you know, a lot of excitement surrounding them. All we know about the release date is that they are coming late 2022. I do believe these ones are actually coming. Nintendo's usually pretty good about dates, and Game Freak seems to have a handle on things. Yes, I know Nintendo recently pushed back Breath of the Wild 2, but typically Nintendo's pretty solid with dates. So yeah, it's Pokemon. At this point, you know exactly what it is. Either you give a fuck or you don't. Either way, I'm moving on. And this will be the last game that I talk about. It's Hogwarts Legacy. This is the upcoming big real deal Harry Potter game. You know, it's not just some stupid ass tie-in. It's like a real one, wants to be a real game. It's a real boy. It kind of aims to do what Shadow of Mordor did for Lord of the Rings in gaming, you know, which is actually immerse people in your world that people have been clamoring to be immersed in without it feeling like a janky ass cash grab tie-in at the same time, you know. And when we last saw Hogwarts Legacy, I was surprised because the scope of the game appeared to be bigger than I thought it was going to be, you know. It actually did look impressive. It appears to be a fully single player adventure right now, you know, but take that with a grain of salt. I don't think they've said anything about any kind of multiplayer or co-op or online interactivity, but again, the game seems really expansive. You'll duel against other wizards and witches, learn to make potions, befriend all kinds of mythical beasts, or fantastic beasts, I should say. Wink, wink, okay? You can probably play a match of Quidditch. I don't fucking know. I'm just making that up. The point is, there seems like there's gonna be a lot to do. And although we did see more of this one not too long ago, and it's set to release in late 2022, this one might still get delayed. I can totally see that happening, especially after realizing the actual scope of what they're going for. But you know, we'll see. You know, and I feel like when this game comes out and you and you create your wizard, it's gonna say like, are you a boy or a girl? Because there are only the two. And then below that, there's a picture of J.K. Rowling looking off into the distance. Maybe she has an American flag behind her, like a presidential candidate, and it says, "I'm J.K. Rowling and I approve this message." Either that happens, or they do include a non-binary choice or something like that, or a trans choice or something. And if you pick it, a 16-bit J.K. Rowling appears and goes while she wags her finger at you. No, but in all seriousness, I'm sure the devs will do their best to sidestep J.K. Rowling and her stances, I guess. But okay, that's all. How do you think the big games left in 2022 are looking? Do you think it's looking scarce, looking sparse, or are we sitting pretty for 2022? You know, do you think there's a lot of options and it's looking pretty promising? Do you think any of these games, you know, are gonna get delayed? Will we get a surprise breakout hit this year that randomly places itself among the big games, you know, Apex Legends style or something? Let me know what you think. Also, I just wanted to say, if you follow me on Instagram and or Twitter and you leave likes and comments and just engage with what's going on there, thanks a lot. I do appreciate that. If you don't, you know, I'm at Waifu Belector on Instagram and Twitter, so you know, why the hell not? But anyway, until next time, I am Waifu Belector. I am just a normal guy. I like hentai, and I'm going to buy the majority of the games we've talked about today. Goodbye.